Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. Collab hopeful goodness time in the form of Oakflower Brewing and Autodidact, two of my favorite newer brewery, New Jersey brewery jams. This is their Money Sucks Friends Roll 8.2%, sorry, double IPA. You got a double rainbow across the sky. This comes courtesy of my boy George. He spends a lot of time out towards Jersey City, so on his way back to northeastern Pennsylvania, a lot of times he'll give me a buzz and be like, hey man, coming through the area, let's meet up. Let's hangs. So before he came and hung, we usually meet up at Zigmeister Brewing in Hackettstown. Before he met up, he stopped at Oakflower, had a couple beers and pulled a couple cans, and I was the recipient. Thank you very much, brother. Label-wise, I'm not a huge Oakflower art fan. Some of their kind of like less graphic stuff is kind of cool to me, but they're very distinct. See them from across the room, and honestly, Money Sucks Friends Roll, great name for a beer. So I'm here for it. Plus, collab goodness, like I said, Oakflower don't get to nearly as much as I can. Autodidact a little bit more because they're not super far away, but my work kind of shifting and moving. I haven't been there a bunch, so to actually get a collab from both of them, I'm kind of pumped for it. So thank you very much, George. Yeah, that looks like the Super Turbids. The Super Turbids are below us. It might not come off that way in camera, but it definitely looks all the part of like a potato leek butternut squash soup. The head on this actually has like a tinge of orange to it. It's just that dense. It looks like it almost looks like a milkshake IPA. That's how kind of soupy and with this kind of beaming whiteness to it. So it definitely looks a part of a super new school, super turbid, New England style hazy IPA. As you can see, just that milky apricot juice kind of vibes going. So we're definitely off to a boisterous start. Let's get nose. There's some mean mugging going on in that sucker. I'm not going to sit here and just be like gobs and gobs of fruitiness. It's not giving me a ton of fruitiness on the nose. It's an underripened apricot, an underripened kind of tropical fruit, more like melon vibes. But it really is this kind of green hop saturation thing that is going on here that has me a little bit hot and bothered. Not quite sure where that green's going to go, whether it's going to be straight hop pellet, or whether it's going to be like a green grassiness or a weediness, tomato stockiness, all those things. I think it's going to go a little bit more hop pellet just by how saturated this beer looks. But it has this just mean mugging, dense nose. It almost makes the beer kind of feel like it's heavier with how just rich and dense that hop saturation. And when I keep saying hop saturation, like if you've ever huffed like a bag of hops, or you walked into a brewery that is just like absolutely bonkers gonzo for hops, like you walk into Alchemist, you walk in and it's just like, I smell weed. It's like that, but more of a hop smell rather than a straight up weed smell. So it does have this rich, huge double IPA nose. It's not hitting me with a ton of fruit, more just like hops and hops and hops, green on green on green. I ain't hating on that. Let's dive in. Cheers, y'all. Good God. Yeah, reminds me of some of the kind of like, man, that is hop. It's like 8 S's on this sucker. And the cool trick here, nothing as far, well, I shouldn't say nothing. The ever so slightest, with a little bit of maybe a tinge of hop burn on it. That's the cool trick it's pulling off. It's giving you copious. Let's go 9 O's on that. How many S's, how many O's in now? Of hops on this sucker. It's super saturated. It reminds me of, and this is what I was going to say just before, of like some of these old school, like let's just go bonkers with the hops breweries. Fidens, Monkish, those kind of, you ever have them like when they first came out and you got them and they were just like, I wonder how much hops we can put in a beer. Let's try and find out. And it's like that kind of thing, but in a very tasty way. It's just not throwing hops at the beer for the sake of that. There's some breweries, I don't want to name them, but there's certain breweries that have done that. There's a couple of them down south that I used to get a lot from viewers and stuff like that. Again, not going to name names, but it was just like you could tell the brewer wasn't necessarily making good beer. They're just throwing as many hops as they possibly could at a beer. This is that cool combination where it's throwing a gobsmacked portion of hops at a beer, but it's still really tasty and it's really, really well done. Mouthfeel, actually comes off lighter than you think. I thought it was going to be super heavy, super turbid. It is dense. It is thick, but it's not like undrinkable. It's very much kind of like a full satiny kind of dense satiny kind of vibe to it. A nice sweetness to it. If I'm getting fruit here, it's very much in the melon category. Very much kind of honeydew, cantaloupe, those kind of melon kind of vibes. With a touch of citrus, you're always going to get that in here, but nothing too pithy, nothing too rindy. You're getting a bittering here. You're getting a hop bittering here, but you're not getting any kind of fruit bittering or anything like that. And then really comes down to that big, huge dosing of green hops. It even comes off more softer and fluffier than just a straight up kind of hop pellet. It's almost like a keefy, cryo keefy kind of thing going on here. This is really good. Honestly, this is like super hefty, heavy duty, 8% double IPA, 2x4 to the face. All the hops belong to us. I dig it. Again, this to me at 8.2% is drinking like what a lot of people try to get to with their triple IPAs. Or at least where I think they should be with their triple IPAs as far as impact, as far as vibrance, as far as hugeness. You know, I know some people, man, I had this triple IPA, it was 10%, it drank like a 5% beer. I don't want that in my world. I want my 5s to drink like 6s, my 6s drinks like 7s, and my 8s to drink like 10s. And because I want to earn those ABVs, you know, something about something being 10% and drink like 5 is kind of a waste for me, because I usually like to have a couple beers. So if I'm going to have something that's high in ABV, I want there to be a little hair on fire here. I want there to be a bit of electricity to it, and you're definitely getting that in the case of this beer. Man, that's delicious. That's absolutely delicious. Like I said, when I throw out those, you know, that kind of monkish kind of vibe me, I'm not just throwing it out there for the sake of throwing it out there. Those are the vibes I'm getting. If you dig on hazies and you like them turbid, you like them big, you like them bold, and you like them rich, I'll put this up there with the best of them. End sentence. End story. That's it. Now, I have a soft spot for these breweries. You know, they're smaller breweries, they're in Jersey, they're close to me. That doesn't mean I love their beers. All their beers. For the contrary, you can go watch some past beers from these breweries. They're not all hits for me. I want them to be. So, you know, I don't know. I sometimes I feel I need to justify myself. I don't know why. Because I'm just a weirdo talking to a camera. And I feel like even the opposite is true with these breweries. I end up being a little bit more harder on them because they're local to me, and I don't want to be like just say nice stuff for the sake of saying nice stuff. Don't care. This is as good as it gets. Double IPA. Now, there's going to be ones I enjoy as much as this. Maybe even a skosh more, but a little bit different. Ones that express themselves on a super fruity end or have some kind of weird kind of twist to them. But as far as this, all the hops. We're talking about hops. We want the hops. Give me the hops. You're very, very hard-pressed to find something better than this. Yeah. Perfect sweetness, beautiful mouthfeel. Done and done. Is this one of the better double IPAs I've had? Is like, yes. Mount Rushmore status? Yes. Value availability? No idea. Small brewery, they probably do these in 4-packs. I'm guessing this is probably closer to $20 for a 4-pack of 12-ounce cans. Small breweries doing good things. We're here for it. And leave you with, if you like what we like this, if you like that hop-saturated haze, you will love this. So there you go. Review in the books. Hopefully you enjoyed. Oakflower. Autodidact. Have you been to the breweries? Have you had their beers? What's your favorite beer from both brewery? Have you had this beer? All that fun stuff down there. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a little bit of cloud goodness right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers, y'all.